I see that Richard Vobes. I'm not sure about his last name, but he's a nice guy, and he edges around everything because he doesn't want to say what he really means, and he's push offish a bit and whatever. But he found this identity card that England wants to do, the big 1984 George Orwell. It's just frightening. Frightening. They haven't got it on BBC One, they haven't got it on Channel 4, they haven't got it on ITV. Why aren't they telling people about it? Why are they keeping it secret? I mean, it's frightening. That's what the Nazis did. That's what Hitler did. That's what the Russians did. That's what the Chinese do. Papers! Give me your papers! You don't live like that. You live in this free country. What is going on? Crazy. Yesterday, I, of course, watch English stuff, the talk radio, whatever else, and the Labour Party really are useless. I mean, they're so useless. The talk radio, talk TV, Julia says to the Labour Party person, well, don't you think it's unfair that men are competing with women? And they call themselves something women, and they're really men. And he says, and then she says, these men, they're not women, right? And it took him forever to answer and whatever. And then she said, that's completely unfair. The men are much stronger. They can do much more. That's not right. They compete with women. And he said, but they are women. She said, a man is a woman. And this is the madness, not just of England, but of the world. I don't want to live in this madness. No, women can compete against women, real women, and men can compete against men. We all know the difference between a man and a woman. Then I watched the English YouTube, which I find fascinating, and I want to thank YouTube so much for all this. They manufacture motorcycles now that are in England that can do 140 miles an hour. And I've been in England when these motorcycles have passed me at over 100 miles an hour, and I'm doing 50. I mean, it's just insane. Who is allowing this, and why would you have this? England talks about the stupidest things, like a shotgun. Shotgun's nothing. It's nothing compared with a motorcycle doing 100 miles an hour. I mean, that's a big, big bullet. And when they hit you doing that speed, there's nothing going to be left of anything. Much, much more dangerous than a shotgun. The other thing I'd like to talk about is my friend Martin. As you know, Martin, this is one of the true stories of life. Martin was at his farmhouse and was beaten up by thugs, and they were stealing stuff, and he went to the police, and of course the police did nothing. They did a little bit here, a little bit there, and he knew the thugs were coming back, and he got himself a 12-gauge pump action shotgun, and when they came at him again, he shot them. The English government actually put him in jail instead of giving him an award for doing the police's job. Of course you can have a shotgun. And of course, if somebody is going to kill you, you can shoot them. Of course you can. In America you can. And anywhere else that's normal you could. I wouldn't live in London without a pistol. There's no way. It's very, very dangerous. The police and the army have never gone in and taken away their knives and got rid of all the crazy people and deported all those people that are a big problem in England. Why? They love criminals. Benny Hill used to say, the biggest business in England was being a criminal. It is. It's just a paradise to be a criminal. If you come into my house and you break in and you're coming in the door and you're going to hurt me, I'm going to shoot you. That's every American says that. Any Englishman would say that because it's normal. I mean, what happened to you all? I don't know. Then, of course, I watch all the programs on YouTube about how everything's so bad, and as well as that, all the benefits are being taken, all the taxpayer money is being paid out to these immigrants and this village, this beautiful 17th century village, and it's so lovely. It should be kept just for English people. And they sell all these migrants in this beautiful, beautiful hotel, 4-poster beds and whatever. Crazy. And there's 500 of them and there's 400 people in the village. What do you expect's going to happen? Utter chaos. I mean, it's crazy. You have, because you let them in, 10 to 15 million too many people. You cannot give higher wages to anybody because that's not going to help the problem. The problem is supply and demand. You have to get rid of 10 to 15 million people. Now we come on to the building permit. When I lived in England, you couldn't get a building permit. You weren't allowed to build everywhere because it was just green, it was just beautiful, the farmland was perfect, it was all precious, and it was going to stay like that. Now I see that it's not. They're building on beautiful farmland. What a terrible thing they're doing. You can't build on farmland. You can't. English farmland is the most beautiful in the world. Don't destroy it with that. You'll never build enough houses for 10 to 15 million people. Now, I'm not going to answer the question what to do with them because I don't want to be called a racist. Denmark's doing it, Sweden's doing it, the Netherlands are doing it, Germany's going to do it, everybody's going to do it, Australia's done it, and doing more of it. It's just, the whole thing is crazy. We're going through this crazy part of the world. If I was going to pick a prime minister, it would be Julia from the talk show TV or Mike, because they're just sensible, normal people. And I would definitely do away with all these gun laws, all this stupidity. You would have a background check. If you've been in trouble with the police at all, have you done anything wrong? No, you can have a gun. And you don't have to have a place to put the gun. You can just take the gun apart, but you'd be able to get to it pretty quickly if your house is being broken into. And that's the other thing they need to say. They need to say, of course you can defend yourself, and give all these old ladies that are being harassed by gangs 22 pistols. It's just common sense. Or even mace, or that electric thing that sparks. We all come to this common sense part of our lives, and we realize the government doesn't want us to have common sense. As for this ID thing, that is very, very scary. I would vote it down and say it's not viable. You don't want to be Germany. You don't want to be Russia. You don't want to be China. You don't want to be papers, please. Papers, please. No, you don't want that. Anyway, enjoyed talking to you. Enjoyed watching all of it. The motorcycles, I don't know how they stay on them at 100 miles an hour. I mean, I really don't. But I've seen that for myself. Thank you. Bye-bye.